So you want to know what it's like to live in Phoenix's best kept secrets, and that is Ahwatukee. So in this video today, I will show you everything there is to know about here living in the Ahwatukee area of Phoenix, as well as I'll show you through 3 different neighborhoods. That way you can kind of get a general idea on price range and start to, give you an idea on what houses look like in price range and all that good stuff. So without further ado, guys, let's get started right now. So as I mentioned, Ahwatukee, you don't really hear a lot about it. It's literally Phoenix's best kept secret. It's just west of Chandler on I-10, and especially with the new 202 being built, Ahwatukee is just so beneficial for location. It's by far one of the best locations in the entire Phoenix Valley, especially if you have a job where you need to get to downtown. So it's only about 20 to 25 minutes, or if you need to get out to like Glendale or you go to LA a lot, it's only about 30 to 45 minutes out to like Goodyear, Buckeye. So easy commute out to the western side of the city, as well as, further north. Even if you have to go up to like Scottsdale, we live in the foothills right now of Ahwatukee, and I'll show you that in another video. But it's super easy. You literally just go straight east on the 202 and go up north to the 101. So the location of Ahwatukee is absolutely amazing if you need to get to other areas of the city. Now, what are some things to do if you live in the Ahwatukee area? What are some things to do? Literally right behind me, this is the start of South Mountains. South Mountain is one of Phoenix, it's one of the city's biggest parks, and it's one of the nation's biggest city park. So there is a ton to do. You can see it all the way around me. And honestly, before we get into more of that, that's one of the best parts, is that you get mountain views no matter where you're at here in Ahwatukee. Literally, you get mountain views everywhere. So if you like that, you like seeing, the palm trees right behind you too, it's gonna be an amazing spot. But for things to do, literally, you can go, that's one of the first hikes that I ever did after moving here. You can mountain bike in there, you can go horse riding in there, you can take dune buggies in there. Like, there's so much to do in South Mountain, and literally that is, I'm not kidding, your backyard if you live up here in Ahwatukee. So that is one of the best parts, is outdoor activities. And then, not to mention, I'm here, I just found this park actually. I have not been here before, Western States Park, up in like the central part of Ahwatukee. It's so cool right now. There's people walking their dogs, there's kids golfing, there's they're playing baseball, pickleball, jumping around on the playground. So there's a ton to do in this Ahwatukee area. Even just this nice little park, so much green space if you have dogs. So it's a really amazing thing to do, and area to live if you love being outside. Now, as far as like shopping and everything, Ahwatukee itself doesn't have a ton of like shopping. You have like little strip malls, as you can see here, but there's areas, like there's grocery stores everywhere. One of the really cool things is that there's a ton of like mom and pop restaurants, very different than if you go out into like the suburbs of like Chandler, Gilbert, where there's not quite as many, unique restaurants, right? Ahwatukee has a ton of mom and pop owned specialty restaurants, so you got to check them out. I wish we could go out more often, just with our schedule, it gets a little busy. There's so many places to eat here in Ahwatukee. But back to shopping. So, there's little pockets of, little shopping malls. You got Targets, actually there's no Walmart in Ahwatukee, which is a little interesting, but literally across the I-10, you have 2 Costco's. You have one up in Tempe, so that's super easy access. And then you also have a Costco down on the 202 down in Chandler. So if you're on the southern part of Ahwatukee, you got really 2 options within 10 minutes. A really nice thing that the Ahwatukee location has as well is literally right across the I-10 there's a ton of shopping. So like literally IKEA, Dick's Sporting Goods, Golf Galaxy, I could go on and on and on about all the shopping. Here's, I'll show you a little map about all the different shops that are here, but there's so many different shopping options. Literally, it's not in Ahwatukee, but it's literally just right across the street. So just another really good thing that the location of Ahwatukee has is all the benefits of whatever, you literally have everything down here. Movie theaters, good shopping, and Costco, grocery store, everything is in this little tiny pocket of Ahwatukee. Now, one final point before we'll hop in over to our first neighborhood is that Ahwatukee, before they built that 202 highway, it was kind of hard to getting in and out because you had to go, they called it like the biggest like U-turn, or I can't think of exactly the name that they called it, but before they built the 202, it was really hard to getting in and out because there was only a couple streets back to I-10, and then that way you could get through the rest of the valley. But once they built that 202, you literally can get anywhere in the Phoenix Valley, as like you can go east, west, and north and south. So the location is amazing. We just went down to Tucson, and if you have family down there, it was only 1 hour and 15 minutes from our house to northern part of Tucson. So if you have family down there and you want to live in Phoenix, it's an amazing location because it's so easy to get to. Actually, before we get to our first neighborhood, I have to mention golf courses. So there are a couple here in like Ahwatukee itself. You have Ahwatukee Country Club, Honestly, it's going under new management right now, so I'm excited to see what happens in the future. Hopefully they put a little bit of money into it and it kind of increases the quality. You can't beat the deal. Usually it's really, really well priced, but in terms of quality, there's definitely some better courses. The Arizona Grand, that's actually like just north. I don't know if it's actually technically Phoenix or Tempe. It's really scenic, but the course itself, not my favorite. It's target golf, really kind of tight, really beautiful views, because literally it's like right on the other side of those mountains, so you have really pretty views. But in terms of like playing condition, weekly course, definitely not. I wouldn't recommend it. The nice thing is that, again, you're so close to some other really good golf courses. Foothills Golf Club, that's a little bit more expensive. It just got built in purchased by Troon. That's in the foothills. We'll cover that in another video. But they have a lakes. It's like an executive course. Haven't played it. I don't really know too much about it other than condition-wise, it needs a little bit of help, so we'll leave it at that. But some other courses in the area, you know, Ken McDonald, Dobson Ranch, those are only about 15 minutes from here, and two really, really solid city-owned courses. So definitely go check that out. But Ahwatukee golf, it's not the greatest compared to other areas, but you're super close to some other really good courses in the area. We'll pop into our first neighborhood of Ahwatukee. While we're talking about neighborhoods, that is a really nice thing about Ahwatukee. You have starter entry level condos, as you'll see in the next video, but then you also have, you know, homes in the 600, 700, 800, and they're even, you know, all the way up to like $1.6 million here in the Ahwatukee area. So we'll get to those eventually, but for right now, we'll just give you, you know, kind of a small, medium, large about what your price point is here in Ahwatukee. So let's go. All right, so our first stop in the Ahwatukee neighborhood of what just some different types of homes look like. So I'm in the Desert Foothills Villas, and this is just a little condo community. It's really nice. They have, honestly, we're just walking around here, they have so much like green space, and it's so cool, like just seeing like these like tall evergreen trees. You don't see this a ton here in Phoenix, so anytime that you do like get this like little, you know, green space like this, I think it's a really, really cool feature of the community. This community itself, it's mainly comprised of like only like 2 and 1 bedrooms. So right now you can get a 2-bedroom condo in like there's like one for like $230 to like $290 range. So especially, you know, if you're just starting out, or if like it's you and your spouse, or just you, or even like if you are just thinking about like a second house, this location would be amazing because you're only like 15 minutes from the airport. So it's super easy to come down, low maintenance, because the HOA, they would cover like the exterior of the unit. So like anything with like the stucco or like the roof, the HOA would actually cover that. So a lot less maintenance than actually owning a house. And the nice thing too is that you can get in for such a low, you know, entry point. You're not paying $500,000-$600,000. You can just get into a place for, you know, $280,000, $290,000, somewhere in there. But overall, like this community, you know, taxes they're only about $700. And that's really another really good thing about living in like the Phoenix side versus like Tempe or like Chandler, is that the taxes here are a lot lower than our neighbors to the east. Now, one thing about like condo communities such as this is you always have like HOAs, and again, that covers, you know, like the exterior of the unit, the roofs, as well as in this community, you know, they have like all of like the green space, so like that would all be taken care of for you. And they would also take care of, you know, like the community pool or like a community spa. Some complexes too in like the Ahwatukee area, they have a gym. So if that's something that, you know, is really important to you, we can definitely work that in when finding your new house. So just kind of an overall view about, you know, what especially like the low end of the budget gets you. You know, most people think, when they think of Phoenix, they think, oh my gosh, I gotta pay $500,000 for a house. There's definitely housing options for everybody in all price points. It just might not be as big or as you initially thought of, you know, compared to other areas of the country. So that about wraps it up for this first property. Just wanted to give you guys a feel for kind of a starter neighborhood, but what that looks like here in Phoenix. So without further ado, let's go. That's it for this condo community. We will take you through 2 neighborhoods. If you want more of like a single family house, we'll pop into 2 on the lower end, then more on the middle end as well. These dogs are getting excited that we're out of here as well. So we'll head over to our second neighborhood next. If you are liking this video so far, make sure you click the subscribe button. That way you are always notified of what new content comes available. And guys, in this channel, we cover everything there is to know about moving to Phoenix, Arizona, what different neighborhoods look like, and all that good stuff. So if that is for you, make sure you, again, click the subscribe button and tap the like for this video if you like this so far, as well as comment down below. I want to know your thoughts about what you think of, you know, Ahwatukee, what you've heard of Ahwatukee, as well as just moving to Phoenix in general. And I get calls and texts from every day from people just like you that are thinking about moving to Phoenix. So if that's you, our contact information is down below. So feel free to reach out to us, and we will help you get started with your move here to Phoenix. So let's pop over to the second neighborhood next. All right, so we are walking around our very first single family neighborhood here in Ahwatukee. And if you look on a map, like there's like this like circle. That's why they used to call it like, it was like the greatest like roundabout or U-turn or something like that, because like there was literally this Warner Elliott loop, which we're just walking inside of, that was kind of taking you around Ahwatukee. Anyways, so we are walking around the like Ahwatukee Country Club area. And just as you can see, like it's just such a beautiful little quiet community. Homes in this like particular neighborhood, they kind of really vary. So these are like some of like the newer ones. These were built in like the 1990s, mid 90s. Like the other part of the neighborhood is built more in like the 80s, and again like 70s, 80s. So a little bit older houses. Kind of the cool thing with this like particular part of town is you don't really see like a lot of like tall billowing like two-story houses. I think why that's really cool. I love the single family, the little low single family houses here in Arizona. Keeps your air conditioning down, first of all. And second, it's really nice, like if you have a pool, that you don't have like a two-story neighbor like right next to you, you know, peeking down while you guys are, you know, enjoying your own personal like privacy, right, with the pool. So that's one really nice thing that Ahwatukee has, is a lot of single level, you know, homes here. But again, like also, like as I mentioned at kind of the start of this video, like just where this location is. So like literally you have the golf course that runs literally right through the neighborhood. But you also have like the Ahwatukee like Palms Shopping Center. You have the town center where like Hobby Lobby, Target, like literally you name it. That's only like 5 minutes from this part of town. And again, like if you need to go to IKEA, Costco, like it's literally right across the street from this particular neighborhood. You know, in terms of like houses itself, you know, we talked earlier about like the cheap property taxes. So it's only about 0.4 to 0.5% of like the proposed value, the appraised value. And that, so like for example, you know, if this is a $500,000 house behind me, right? Taxes are only about $2,300 per year. So in contrast to other areas of the country, very, very low here in Ahwatukee. But I'm not kidding, literally, I've been walking on the street for, you know, 5 minutes and there's not one car that's come by. It's just super, super quiet in this part of town. I don't know why nobody talks about Ahwatukee. Homes are, you know, a little bit more expensive, maybe for, you know, square footage. Most in this, you know, neighborhood, anywhere from like 1,600 to, you know, 2,200. So a little bit smaller. You know, the further out you go, Gilbert, Queen Creek, you can get a bigger home for the same value. But in terms of, you know, like a nice quaint type home, you're not going to beat the Ahwatukee area. So that kind of wraps it up for, you know, walking around this area. But again, this is right near the park that we started at the very start of the video. So again, you're super close to South Mountain. You got just over the top of these hills. So the backyard, you could probably see the mountains, but right here you can't. So you got South Mountain, it's kind of peering right there. But you got like South Mountain, there's a ton of shopping here. And again, that easy access to downtown, literally you're probably 15 minutes away from Sky Harbor. So really easy access, especially if you have to go to other areas of the valley. Or like if you have kids that go to ASU, you're only 10 to 15 minutes away from campus. So super easy to check on them and for them to come down and drop off their laundry, right? I know I did that all the time when I was in school. So anyways, that kind of wraps it up for this particular community. Last thing actually, before I forget, the HOAs, they're pretty low, anywhere from like $50, $60, $70 every single month. And it just kind of takes care of like the general, you know, landscape of the neighborhood, as well as maintain some of the park in the area. So not terrible. Actually, I just keep thinking of more things actually. If you are shopping for homes like in this area, you'll see some that are way, way lower. That's because there's actually a lot of 55 and older communities in this Ahwatukee area, like a lot of homes for sale in the Ahwatukee area. So if you're shopping for homes and you see a lot of lower priced ones in Ahwatukee, just make sure you double down on your research, because most likely it's going to be in the 55 and older communities. So that wraps it up for neighborhood number 2. Let's pop over to our, you know, more higher end, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 neighborhood. That way you can get an idea on what it gets you here in Ahwatukee. All right, so we are at our third and final stop. We are just south of where we were just on the map of where that like little loop is, just south in Mountain Park. And this area it's just so beautiful. Like as you can see, like how homes are a little bit bigger, especially like some of the bigger ones, you know, those are 28 to 3,200 square feet. But if you want, you know, a little bit bigger price point and a little bit larger, you know, square footage for your house, that's going to be, you know, typically in like the $600,000 range. And honestly, it just occurred to me, I didn't even mention why Ahwatukee is one of the best spots to live too, especially if you have kids who are in schools. is that the Kyrene School District is definitely one of the best in the entire Phoenix Valley. So you have Desert Vista High School down south, and then Mountain Point, which is just literally just down the street here. Two really good schools. The elementary schools are really good here in Ahwatukee, and so are the middle schools. So two really highly sought after areas as well. But like this particular neighborhood itself, it's kind of cool because it has like all these little cul-de-sacs. Like literally every single house in this area is just cul-de-sacs. So a cool little unique aspect about Ahwatukee. But you know, again, one of my favorite things, the taxes are super low. So even if your house is 2,900 square feet and it's 600,000, your total yearly taxes are only about $2,900. So in terms of value across the country, it's really beneficial. You've probably heard this story if you've seen my other videos. My brother and I own a house. It's probably worth like $240,000 in Omaha, Nebraska, and we pay like $3,800 a year in taxes. So really a huge difference about Phoenix versus other areas of the country is just how low the taxes are. Another really good thing is the HOAs are super low. So even like in this neighborhood, dog is not included in the sale of the home over here. But you do get like really low HOA. So like this HOA in this neighborhood is only like $30 to $40 a month. So super affordable in that aspect. But again, guys, Ahwatukee is just so underrated. Like, as you can see, it's just so beautiful. Let's get a little bit further. I hope you can see these mountain views behind me. But the mountain views, the taxes, the location, things to do, the shopping, all of it. This is a must live if you are thinking about moving to the Phoenix, Arizona area. I moved into the foothills about 6 months ago, and we absolutely love it. It is so pretty. So I will always go to bat when somebody's saying, where should I live? My first place is always gonna be Ahwatukee. So that wraps it up for this video about Ahwatukee and one of Phoenix's best kept secrets. In another vlog, I'll go a little bit further south into the Ahwatukee foothills and kind of show you more about what some of the neighborhoods look like in that aspect, some other things to do in the area, as well as just how much are those homes if you are looking to be in the most quiet and the most, in my opinion, the most beautiful neighborhoods in the entire Phoenix Valley. So stay tuned for that, guys. But that wraps it up. Again, if you have any questions about moving to the Phoenix area, or you're moving tomorrow or in 7 months or even 2 years, our contact information is down below, guys. We'd be happy to help you out. Thanks for watching. Check out other videos on our channel, and yeah, we'll see you guys soon.